Hello everybody, welcome to our second session. Tonight we're going to actually be playing the game that I wanted to play yesterday, but it had 14.2 gig update that it needed to do, and that took quite a bit of time, even on the internet plan that I have here where I live. So I've got it going tonight, and hopefully everything goes great. We're in the loading screen, and we are getting ready to go ahead and kick up the gameplay here. I'm going to go ahead and take this into open play. Bring the volume up a little bit so we can hear it. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to hit me up in the chat room. Got various things going on here tonight. One, I'm trying to make sure this DVR thing's working. Two, I'm trying to make sure that I've got my sound level where it needs to be, my desktop audio versus my mic. Planning on getting a new mic in the future. If you want to help out with that and support us here at Womack Studios as we increase our number of gameplay videos that we're putting out and the quality of them, please go ahead and click the link in the description, Streamlabs/Womack Studios. That'll get you there. Alright. It looks like we're loaded up and we're going to be ready to start playing. Alright. Trying to remember exactly where I was here the last time I was on. I know I just recently bought a new ship. Spent quite a bit of money on a new ship here actually, and looks like I got a couple messages. Passengers disembark. This is actually new to the latest update. I believe it's 2.4 is what they called it, and it was the return. It's got something about some aliens coming back that used to be hanging around in the old like 1980s arcade version of Elite Dangerous, or maybe it was like a computer player simulator. I'm not sure. I didn't play that. It was only alive for about a week in the 80s, so. That's just saying I completed my mission. Here's the thing saying, "Good day, Commander Rockin' Roundup. We are pleased to inform you that your reputation status with Values Party of CD-46 space 12902 has been raised to cordial. You should keep completing successful operations with us to enhance your reputation further. From the Values Party of CD-46 space 12902 Corporation's team. This message will expire in 29 days. We don't need it to expire. I'll just delete it right now. That was they could have just like stopped by and said, "Hey, oh hey there, how you doing? Hit me up in the chat. Got any questions about anything?" I try and keep an eye on the chat every so often so I can give you a rundown of what's going on or answer any questions you might have. Kind of new to this, and it's more than just streaming a video game for me. I do a lot of public speaking, and I can't get over people are like, "Hey, go do a Facebook live feed," or "Hey, get out there and get on the radio," and I'm like, I don't do that. I speak in front of people that I can see. So this stream thing's really about me talking to people that I can't see, and then I'd love y'all's feedback and kind of get some information on how things are going, and maybe make myself a little bit more comfortable with talking in situations where I can't see the audience necessarily. Alright. Mainly I like to explore in Elite Dangerous and kind of pick up individuals and transport them around. I'm not really into the like super long missions that you'll see on here. Some of these are, these are all transport missions. They're pretty legit and easy, like these two guys here. This one's going to be going to Algrate, and if you take a look, it's actually going to Smith Exchange and Algrate, and then this one up here is going to Smith Exchange and Algrate. So it's like, why not haul these two people to the same place at the same time? So The only thing is you also want to check and make sure there's not any better deals, because sometimes you'll find somebody that's like extremely rich and they'll pay you like $1 million to take them like 60 light years, and that's obviously a no-brainer. You definitely want to do that, because the other operations that you're going to find for $1 million are like these here, and they're sightseeing adventures. And the sightseeing adventure is like you've got to take these people sometimes well over 100 light years and then back. And I don't know if you haven't played Elite Dangerous, when you're jumping 20 light years at a time and you have to stop to refill every 4 times, that adds up pretty quick. I mean, you're stopping before you get there. You got to stop for fuel. Then you got to stop for fuel on your way back, and then you got to pay for your fuel when you get there, and replenish. And you make decent money, but it also takes a lot of time, planning that route and then stopping. Definitely you don't want to not plan your route. Sometimes if you try and take a shorter route, if you don't pay attention to the population, you could be stopping off in a place where you need fuel, and it's actually just a star is all there is. There's no population. There's no star base or anything. I did that one time and luckily made it to the next star system where I could get some fuel. So it was pretty intense, pretty scary. Go ahead and take a look at a couple more of these here before we decide on that one or on those two. Here's another guy going to Algrate. What's he got? He's going to the Smith Exchange as well, and he's actually got quite a bit of cash, offering well more than the other person was. And let's take a look at this. Again, if anybody wants to hit me up in the chat, I don't know how many questions or descriptions I can come up with on my own. So if you got any questions about the game or what's going on, or just any questions at all, hit me up. Kind of new to this. I've got some different levels on my mic set up tonight. The video that I had last night, I went ahead and rewatched it today just to kind of criticize myself, and it was honestly very hard because you couldn't hear me if you didn't have headphones, and I know that's definitely a turn off. So I've adjusted the levels and everything should be back and better than what they were last night. Let's go ahead and pick a cabin for this guy, and then let's find that other person that was headed to Algrate. And let's pick a cabin for him as well. There we go. Alright, so take a look over here and we can see that inventory wise, we can go down to our cabin so we can see how many people we've got. We got 3 in each. Here's my fire groups. Pretty heavy in case I get into any unforeseen battles, like if I'm hauling somebody that maybe has some people they've made mad, they'll come up after them. So I've got multiple turret lasers here, so I can kind of hit them anywhere as long as they're within turret range. And I've got 2 seeker missiles set on my auxiliary or my secondary fire group there. Actually, to tell you the truth, this is the first fire group, and then you have a secondary fire group. My secondary fire group has a single or a primary and auxiliary as well, and then that's got my my scanner. So I've got my data link scanner and my basic discovery scanner. But we're well equipped to fight ourselves off or fight anybody off of us in case something happens. The only issue is we might run into somebody coming after us, or even been times I've been don't want to abandon that. Even been times I've got caught being tracked down and they think I've got somebody else and I really don't, and so you just want to be prepared in case they decide to open fire instead of letting you turn them into the authorities or whatever. So am running without shields. Don't have any shields. I didn't build this to be a fighter. I just wanted to be sure I was well equipped in case I did run into fighting. Let's Go ahead and plot our route. Luckily, we're right there as we come in, just past the asteroid belt. You can see up there in the top right of that little information window that pops up around the planets how far you are from your arrival point. So 73.67 light seconds. So if you're not an astronomy buff, sometimes you may be a little confused with the measurements that they've got in here. Obviously, if you watched any Star Trek, you're gonna know what they're talking about, like kilometers. So everything's gonna be in kilometers when you're talking about the smallest unit of measurement on here. There's of course gonna be like some other measurements that come up. They've got ohms. I haven't really figured out what the ohm is. I know everything's based off of an actual scale that is in the system, and it's around in real life. That's one of the coolest things about this is this game is made about the real solar system that we live, or not just our solar system but our galaxy. Everything is based on slow down before we get in trouble here. So everything here is based on so apparently one of my guys does not like to be scanned, so they're not really like, oh, there we go. We got to take the landing gear off that we can take out and do our frame shift drive. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Everything's based off of the Milky Way galaxy. We can zoom out and see that galaxy out there. So it's kind of cool. They've taken all this data from NASA and like compiled it together and made like billions of, I forgot what the actual number was, but it was incredible. Like, you could play this game for the rest of your life, according to the statistics of, or the number of solar systems that are supposed to be in here, and never like touch all of them and explore them. So that was really cool. It's really a massive game. You can see the measurements down there right now is the little C. That actually stands for light speed. So like right now I'm cruising at like 4 light speed plus, and it, just constantly accelerating. Forgot to slow down a little bit right there because I got to talking. But you definitely want to start to slow down kind of when you get in the 10-second range and start preparing for incoming, or you'll overshoot it like I just did right there. Again, for any of my viewers out there tonight that aren't really familiar with this game, you're just trying to figure out what you got to do. There are certain zones where you got to come in here and kind of slow down to meet your safe drop from what they call frame shift drive. Not really sure where they came up with the name for frame shift drive, but that's what the developers decided to call it. It's kind of like a warp speed, but as you can tell, I'm going multiple kilometers per second in frame shift drive right now too. So technically, I kind of you would think I should have already dropped out, especially since I can do like 300 kilometers per second once I'm out of it. So just kind of a little bit of a learning curve there on flying that. And actually, you know what? I was wrong. It's not 300 kilometers. This is 300 meters per second that I'm actually running right now, because you can see that on the left-hand side, I'm definitely not moving at 100 kilometers per second, or I'd already be there, because I'm only like 1.5 kilometers away right now. So what you do have to do is every time you go to dock, you've got to request docking. I do have an auto dock on. For me, I'm not smuggling anything, so I don't really care if I get scanned. I occasionally have a passenger that doesn't like it, but for me, it's just easy to say, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and let you, let the computer take over. And a lot of times it's faster than if I did it because I'm not the best docker in the world. Hey, welcome to the stream. Go ahead and hit me up in the chat if you want. Love to get some people chatting it up with me. It's a little quiet. It's like a one-way conversation over here. So always click the link in the description if you want to support the stream. Helps us buy new equipment, get better streaming content, better quality audio and stuff like that. So the name Womack Studios, in case you were wondering, comes from my last name with me and my brother. We both wanted to try and do this, so Womack Studios is kind of like the thing we came up with. We're trying to make this something that takes off, something that we kind of do together. We both like video games, raised in a very country environment, and somehow both wound up with a passion for computers and software, or I love software, he loves hardware. We both like to play video games, and so taking much different approaches in our life as opposed to the approach of our father, who was rancher cowboy. So it's always quite interesting to look back and try and figure out where exactly did we get a passion for this. But we self-learn a lot, pay attention to a lot of stuff in the tech world, and try and stay up to date with everything. So this is actually our first time to stream. Streamed last night. I actually streamed Fallout Shelter and just kind of did it while a couple of guys were on the chat with me, and then tonight I'm streaming the game I wanted to stream last night, but it had an update on this particular console. So alright, as you can tell, my screen name on most of the games I play is Rockin' Roundup. It's a name I came up with quite a while back, so it's just ROCKN Rockin' Roundup. Some people call me Roundup, some people call me Rockin'. Been called a lot of different things, especially when you get to playing Call of Duty. I mean, you can imagine what some of the names are that people call you, but and actually, if I think about it, I may stream some Call of Duty Modern Warfare, or not Modern Warfare, Advanced Warfare in the near future. I'd have to go in and dig the disc out and put it back in, because I haven't played that in a while, but I hear it's still going on strong, and they've got some people out there that are still playing it, so it's something interesting I might be looking into. Pause and take a break here for just a second while I check some stuff over here. Trey, if you're on there tonight, don't be afraid to go ahead and hit me up and give me a shout out on the chat, and just let me know what you think about tonight's feed as compared to last night, audio wise.
If one of your employees' phones is lost or
Ooh, got an advertisement going on over here. That was random. So alright guys, and I'm back. Let's take a look here. this update happened a couple days ago on my other machine that I play on in the living room, and I was, kind of noticing. I don't know if it's because I bought a different ship, and maybe that had something to do with it, or if it was the update itself. But I kind of logged in and bought the different ship after the update had happened, and the amount of money you're getting paid to take people places just doesn't seem to actually be as much as I was getting. I mean, there were some people that were paying me like 500,000 to take them just places, and now some of these people are wanting a sightseeing adventure that is a round trip for 90 light years. So I mean, you're talking 180 light year flight, and they're not wanting to pay hardly anything as compared to what they were paying. So I think they may have nerfed that down in the economy a little bit and found that people were just making too much money on traveling. So hey, just noticed we got another viewer with us. Hit me up in the chat if you got any questions. Just hanging out, playing Elite Dangerous. Trying to get used to this streaming thing here a little bit. A little new to me, so. Where do you need to go? It's a general. He wants this orbital and Vesperium 4. So I'm going to go ahead and find out where Vesperium 4 is first here. I'm not sure what that dotted line is up there for right now. Alright, I got my route plotted. I'm going to back up here, go ahead and select this, pick a cabin to put this guy in, put him in that one, go back, and let's launch. Let's get out of here, let's get where we're going. So, always, if you want to send me a message in the chat, if you got any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I may just start making some random noises or something, So. If anybody's a fan of music, I could put on some music. I got a wide variety on my Amazon Music. I've got a little bit of rock, a little bit of country, a little bit of pop. Got a little bit of Christian alternative music on there. I got a ton of stuff. I'm really not sure how that fits into everything on the YouTube protocol, so might have to refrain from playing that, or at least the whole song. I'm pretty sure you can get away with like 20 seconds of a song. At least I know you can at like sports events and stuff. That's how they get away with. They don't play more than X amount of seconds of a song, and so they don't have to pay the royalty rights. So if the audio is great on my feed, give me a thumbs up. Give me a hey, great job. If I need to turn something down, turn something up, let me know. I gotta adjust that on the fly, and then kind of remember where the settings need to be for the next time we stream. Anybody getting dizzy yet? So yeah, if anybody knows of any, like, awesome streaming services that I should look into, if there's something other than YouTube that may be better, or if there's an add-on I can add to get like analytics and stuff like that, that'd be cool. I'm just looking to see, like, I know I can get analytics from YouTube in the later. It's kind of like I'm looking for real time. I hadn't seen that yet. It'd be awesome to know, like, if people are, if everybody from watching the video right now is from Chicago or California or Oklahoma or something like that. So that'd be interesting to know. Just information to kind of stumble upon, see who your audience is. Without knowing your audience. So I'm assuming everybody here is, interested in Elite Dangerous somehow, some way. I think I caught that safe. Looks like I did down there on the... May have put me too far away from it though. I'm not really sure yet. Oh yeah, I'm a pretty good little ways away, ain't I? 112 kilometers, but we'll get there. Might be a good time to kind of play with the camera. We got, like, you can see how you can do your thrusters and whatnot on here. Of course, you've got camera angles that are already set up. Like, here's inside the cockpit. Here's, some more of the cockpit. Some more of the, like, controls. Basically looking at me and my guy. I didn't buy the planetary expansion pack yet. If you'd like to see that, maybe hit me up, donate us some, a little bit of funds down there, or tip us, if you like what you see and want us to buy the planetary pack, just let us know in the comments. One cool thing here is you can actually go into a enter camera free by clicking the right stick. So now I can kind of like move the camera around, and my ship's still cruising. I mean, I'm still getting there, so it's not like the game's paused or anything. This is real time, so you can come around wherever you want and take a look at stuff. You can snap photos. You can hide this HUD if you want it just like a real cool looking photo, so you could just come up in here, and then if you know what takes the photos, then you could just like screenshot that and bam. You can zoom and blur. You can basically change those, and then that allows you to focus on stuff and blur things out. Or you can, there we go, let's get a blur going on. So see, there's like a little bit of a blur. It's not too bad, looks kind of cool. So actually really trying to remember how you take the photos. I'm not really remembering how you get the photos taken on here. I think you may just have to hide it and then just be like Xbox, screenshot that, or they got the new feature where you know what, the game DVR doesn't work when you're streaming games apparently, so that's interesting. So it's always something, isn't it? I guess I'd have to screenshot that on the computer with like Control-Alt-Delete or something. So take a look at that in the future and check it out. And now let's. Bad thing is you always. It's kind of a good thing because like you don't got to worry about taking your blurring off and stuff. But it's also kind of a bad thing because you just like, what if I wanted to leave it there and then I wanted to exit for a second and then change my ship's position and come back? Well, then you're going to have to go in and redo all your camera stuff. Now, like I said, it is kind of cool because you still can go back into this type of mode without the, if you don't if I exit the camera suite, of course, I'm going to be pulling back and, you know, like getting out here. So you can almost make this like a third-person game. Not quite, but just a little bit. You know, you can like pull back and get up in here, and then I can turn my camera system back on, and now I can like wah and fly my ship around. So that's kind of cool. Of course, this is space, so it doesn't really do like what you think it's going to. You know, like you don't see it, your front end tipped down and all that. It's kind of, there's no ground to associate yourself with, so you kind of got to like make your own levelness. It's easy to get dizzy in this thing real fast. So I am gonna boost here. I love that. That's freaking awesome. It just looks like, you know, solar flares shooting out the back of this thing. So that's kind of cool. Again, hit me up in the chat if you got any questions. You just want to say something. Ready to do the live chat at any time. Might not chat back, but I'll definitely answer your questions over the video. I think I'm going to keep this stream here up for you know, for a little bit longer. Definitely get in here and deliver my passengers. We might get in the ship and go out and try and do a little bit of a battle scene or something. You know, it's actually kind of interesting and kind of fun to get out there and start shooting at other ships and getting shot at. And as I was telling streamers or viewers earlier, I've got not really set up for battle because I ain't got shields, but I can definitely defend myself in the offensive if I have to. I've got 4 burst laser turrets and 2 heat sinker missiles set up for my 6 hard points on here. So not really sure what the lag time is here. It's looking like it's a good 15-20 seconds. I guess I'll know. I'll start timing it when I get up here and I get the some of this stuff going on. So let's go ahead and get some of these messages out of the way. So a little annoying how you get a message every time a passenger disembarks. He's like, I know the passenger disembarked. I just told him he's got to go and he paid me. So I don't know why they send you an email about it. You know, it's kind of like when you join a place and they're like, hey, we're going to send you an email telling you we joined. So, as soon as I get the cheese wheel bar, that's funny. I love that. So I'm going to go ahead and get in here. I'm going to do my request docking, and then I'm going to start kind of counting over here. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute, not to make a fool of myself, and try and figure out what the time delay is on this stream. All right, here we go. Alright, so it looks like about a 10-second delay on what I'm getting back down from YouTube. So I'm assuming with decent internet speeds, that's also what y'all are seeing is going to be that 10-second delay, unless it's allowing you to go back and watch at some other point, which I know the DVR is going, and you should be able to. Yeah, it looks like you can go back and watch at a different point. So Just keep in mind, if you're watching the live video and I don't respond to you immediately when you join, um, it's because there's that 10 to 15 second delay that's happening in between when I'm seeing you join and then. So give me 10 or 15 seconds. I'll be like, hey man, how you doing? I wish I could see y'all's names so I could refer to you by name. Please hit me up in the chat so I can see your username, see your screen name, and we can get a conversation started. Hoping everybody's still having fun, hanging out. Check me out on YouTube. Come back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be online again. Come back whenever, whenever you can. Watch some of the videos we've already got out there. Me and my brother love playing video games, working with technology. I develop software and do data analytics for a living and build, custom websites and stuff like that. And together we build computers and get them in some businesses around town and things. Video games is kind of a pastime for us. We're starting out this streaming as kind of a can we do it type thing, experiment, like how are we going to be with speaking to an audience in public. I go to Toastmasters. If anybody, yourself or anybody has a fear of public speaking, I highly recommend checking out Toastmasters, possibly joining a Toastmasters group. Sounds like a weird name until you really think about it, and you think about like a toast at a wedding, and you become a master at that kind of thing. And that's something I can definitely say that I've started to master. I can get out there and I can give a speech or a presentation in front of the guys at work, in front of in front of just about anybody. Here recently we went to our local United Way board and we did a speech over what they can do to try and increase their Facebook traffic and stuff, and it helps you so much. But in the same sense, you practice speaking in front of people, and so you don't ever practice speaking in front of an audience that you can't see. So I can definitely watch an audience and and see what their reactions are, and it's very difficult to do that with people that you've got on your stream. I mean, or on the radio, for example. You can't do that. I've always thought to myself, radio DJ has got to be one of the toughest gigs there is, because you have to laugh at your own joke. There's no one there laughing with you unless you're part of a morning show group. So that's definitely something that I recommend is checking out Toastmasters, see what it's all about, see if it's something you're interested in. Let's keep that Mamboja's on the list there, because we got 2 people going to Mamboja's. Are they going to Conrad Station and Conrad Station? I'm liking that. So let's see if anybody else is offering or needing a ride over there. Oh, here we go. Mamboja's, Conrad Station, but only at a 116. I think the other person was paying a little bit more. Yep, 174. So let's go ahead and pick a cabin for this person. Get them hanging out in there. And Mamboja's again. Here we go. Let's pick a cabin. Love hauling people around on this, especially when you get the ones that got a pocket full of money and they like to pay. I mean, it's just credits actually, so I guess it wouldn't necessarily be money. It's just like on your balance, which if it was just on your balance, like on your credit balance there, you would think that people wouldn't be able to, like, if you got a fine, wouldn't they just deduct it from your balance? But they don't. You have to go and actually pay your fine. So, that's kind of strange. Now, where's Conrad Station at here? A bit of a jump. It's going to be 3,303 light years. That's a lot of light seconds away. I mean, from the arrival point. Still is a lot of threes and zeros in there. It's going to be a pretty decent journey once we get out there, even to the solar system that it's on or in. So let's go ahead and launch out of here. Again, hit me up with screen name if you're watching this live. It will be available on YouTube. To not be watching live, just do a replay. If you're doing that, leave me a comment, like and subscribe to the page so you can get notified when we have our next live feed coming out. If you got any ideas, tips, tricks on how to do the stream thing, go ahead and let me know. Like I said, I do this not only because I love to stream and I want to give y'all some content out there to view and watch, and I hadn't seen a whole lot of live streaming over Elite Dangerous, so I was like, hey, why not? I also do this as a social experiment to see how much people are interested in providing feedback for someone such as myself that's trying to better their public speaking skills, whether that public be on site with them, or if it's the public that's like you, the viewer that I can't see that I'm talking to right now. So I'm always looking for a way to improve. That's part of what Toastmasters is we always kind of, you give your prepared speech, and then we've got some where we give like spontaneous speeches, and then you have the evaluation portion where your other fellow Toastmaster members, they evaluate you, and they always give you both good and bad points. So the way constructive criticism should be given to be revered is, kind of like a good, bad, good, just this GBG thing. It's like these are some good points that I liked, and you really get the person listening. Even when you write down a review, you should do it like that. You get that person listening. Hey, man, we really loved how you did this and you did that, and then you kind of work it in. You're like, I did notice that you were doing, this, or, and you just kind of slide in the bad things in your criticism that you think that they should start to work on, or something that you thought maybe they needed to add into their presentation or into their speech. And I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking for. And then you always, should finish on a high note. You're not trying to criticize this person and make them feel horrible about themselves and run them off. Why would you do that? This is a help group. You wanna help them. So always kind of end on something that it's like, man, I saved the best for last, and I think you just rocked this section of that. So again, I know how to do that inside of a setting with the individuals in our club and other people that I talk to in person, but that's the kind of the feedback I'm looking for online, so I can get that feedback. So I know, like, if I get on the radio or the TV station or something like that here locally, that I'm gonna feel better about what I'm doing, because I've had y'all as viewers to support me and help me in my path. So I do have to say that this is probably one of the most boring parts of the video game, especially if you're playing this late at night in the dark living room by yourself on the couch, or if you're in a chair or something, like, it gets really boring. And I'm not even sure if, doing this gets, makes it better, if it makes it worse. I'm like, I don't know if I'm dizzy because I'm really tired or dizzy because I've been spinning. So anyway, I appreciate it. Again, anybody that's just joining us right now that wants to hit us up in the chat, just say hi so I know your screen name. Love to be able to refer to you by name. I was telling the other guys, you want to refer to me, you can call me Womack Studios, rockin' roundup. That's my screen name on the games when I'm playing. So I think we're actually going to be able to do this without overshooting it this time. This is kind of how you're supposed to come in. You slow down constantly as you're coming in, and you can see it's still pulling the speed back, but we're getting a little bit closer. That 6-second window that's right there is just hanging because we're slowing down as we're getting closer. That's what you like to see. That means that you're probably not going to overshoot it. We're going to go ahead and pull in here. We got that little bit of blue window in the top left that we're trying to enter. The speed is in the good, but we're not quite there yet. And here we go. Safe disengage. That's what I'm talking about. Boom. So we are safely disengaged and we're in. It looks like we're on the wrong side of this as it's facing that planet over there. So we're going to go ahead and pull up in here. Again, we gotta contact these guys and request docking. It's always fun to maybe lock some of these targets and see if you can get a scan on them. They could be a bad guy, they could be a good guy.
Permission authorized. Vector for approach to landing pad 15.
There we got our passengers disembark message that it's been giving us. So I'll get rid of that. Wow, they already scanned me once and they scanned me again. They are scan crazy at this facility. Must have somebody on the loose. They're looking for them.
Landing gear deployed.
One. There we go.
Contact. Systems
One.
offline.
There we go. Alright. I was just checking my audio there. You'll probably hear that one there we go a couple times. I was just running a little bit of an audio check trying to find out exactly where we were, if my mic's delay was gonna go through with the video delay the way it should, and it looks like everything's legit. So let's get this let's get these people rolling. They are ready to get off of here, I bet. So they're like, man, you can't drive worth a crap. So alright, let's go ahead. I have a habit of refilling because sometimes or one time I didn't have that habit and I left the station. I was like, oh crap, I gotta go back and get fuel. So always make sure to do that first, no matter how little. Alright, let's claim our reward right there. It's a nice reward, almost $400,000. Just 1,400 shy. And let's get this. Believe it or not, I had about $9 million almost, or like $8.5 million before I bought this ship and outfitted it with the stuff that it's got. So it's fairly easy to make money on here, especially when you get into kind of the second tier, third tier ship that I would call it. You know, it kind of gets easier to make money a little bit faster, but then it also costs quite a bit of money too. So they definitely proportion that to the cost of the ship. So just because an item will cost you, 10 grand for one ship doesn't mean it's going to cost you 10 grand for the other ship, especially as you get ships that can, of course, take higher level components. They're really going to increase. As a matter of fact, why don't we stop moving around there for a minute and let's go into the shipyard and see what they got here. Just kind of run you over some of the ships they got available. This is a decent facility. They at least have a shipyard, and they've got 7 ships on stock. This is a Sidewinder, or your starting ship. Pretty much just a little grunt, capable to do about anything, but it doesn't haul very much, doesn't go very fast, doesn't go very far. Then you've got your Eagle. Your Eagle, again, short range capabilities, pretty good. You can get it up to decent, unengineered, because I haven't bought the planetary perk or planetary DLC. You can get I remember thinking I got mine up to 15, 16 light years on a jump, so it's not terribly too bad. About double of what it's at right now, stock. Definitely kind of built to be a fighter. You're not going to haul a lot of cargo with it. You're not going to go very far. It's just maneuverable, kind of quick on its feet, and a good fighter with a couple of hard points. Actually 3 hard points, I believe. I think you get 1 hard point that comes out of the top. Can't say that I bought the Viper yet. Price wise, you can see these are very low cost, easily expendable. You'd think, the Viper is very well cost effective. I believe people typically use it kind of for like a little fighter plane, or a little bit of a fighter spaceship. Then you got the Cobra Mach 3. Now you're kind of getting up into a little bit higher level. I mean, that's almost a $200,000 gap on those right there. Now keep in mind, there's other ships that are there. They just don't carry them at this facility. And then you've got the Viper Mark 4, which is kind of on the same level as the Cobra Mark 3. As far as price range, but slightly more expensive. And then you got the Type 6 Transporter, which is actually my other ship that I have. And it's outfitted to carry, like, it can haul up to like 18 passengers in the 3 or 4 different cargo bays that I've got, or in the passenger cabins. I've also got some storage for it. It can haul quite a bit of storage, like well over 100, or right at 100 ton, or over 100 tons. Which is good if you get back into the trading market, but I found passenger seems to just kind of be better for me. So, they've got an Anaconda, and you can see how pricey ships can get when you start reaching like tier 7, tier 5, tier 7 type levels, whatever you want to. They're not really tiered per se, but you can see that in the cost, and that's. This is kind of like a tier 3, I think I would call it, or maybe not like a 3. I'm thinking, these are tier 1s, and then you got like a tier 2 and tier 3s, and then this is kind of like a tier 4ish, 5ish, and then obviously they jump way, way, way up there. So it'll be a long time before I've got one of those. What I was going to show you is, the cost of outfitting this stuff before we get off of here tonight. Definitely some interesting things. I kind of wish some of the stations changed up a little bit, because the stations for the most part they're pretty much the same. You dock the same, except for on, you know, the ones that don't have an inside that you fly into to dock. You just kind of dock from the outside. They're different shapes, but essentially they're all the same. They all turn you around before you take off. They all pull you down in here, and it all looks the same on the inside, as far as I can tell from when you actually get on the inside to start outfitting stuff. Take you over my hard points here. So of course you can see I've got these. We've got these two 2F level burst lasers, you know, up here in their turret mode. I've got my 1B Seeker missile racks down here. Those are totally awesome. Love the Seeker missiles. And I loved them when I just had one. I actually haven't even gotten to a battle with this one yet, so I just can't imagine having two of them. That's going to rock people's world when you start shooting at them with that. And then I've got the 1G burst lasers. They're just kind of the low-level lasers. I can show you a little bit of a price difference here if we like browse the shop and, you know, take a look at the burst lasers, and you can see that that one's installed. The turrets are always more expensive, so yeah, you keep in mind that these double and then it doubles again pretty much. So this is like a $12,000 to $16,000 laser that I've got installed, and then you can like immediately see that when you go up to from a 1G to a 2F, you know, that's $162,000. I mean, that's, or 162,000 credits. They are exponentially increasing the prices here. So definitely super expensive. Kind of got to watch for that. You can also tell a little bit of a difference. I think the one I have installed, I'm not sure if it's multi-crew compatible or not, but then again, I don't really have to worry about the multi-crew just so far, because I haven't purchased the planetary system. So if you're watching this live, or you're watching this as a replay on YouTube, there's a link in the description, streamlabs.com/WomackStudios. Go ahead and look us up, give us a tip if you like the video, like and subscribe. Help us to reach our goal of getting enough money to, purchase this through our Womack Studios company, and get the extra planetary stuff if that's something y'all want to see. So I'll take a step back here for just a moment. Go ahead and look at some of the other things they've got. Here's a pulse laser. So you could see kind of what the difference would happen between the burst laser and the pulse laser. Basically, if I wanted to do this, if I wanted to buy this, I could exchange what I'm currently got for it, and it would cost me 30 grand. So basically, between the used one and this one, it cost me 30 grand to upgrade, if you consider it an upgrade. One thing you notice is it goes down on the power draw, so it's going to take less power. It's going to have less of a thermal load because it's a pulse instead of a burst, and then the damage goes up 19%. So it goes up to a full 2 instead of a 1 point something. But what you also are losing here is your rate of fire. My rate of fire goes down 22%. So to me, I don't really know if that's an upgrade, because now I'm looking at, well, I do 19% more damage, but at 22% less rate. So does that help me? I mean, if I could fire 22% faster, doesn't that mean more damage than the 19%? And then you can kind of look at the damage per second and equate that yourself. So for every second that I'm in battle with somebody, I would be doing 8% less damage over here. So kind kind of a trade-off. Do you need less power and do more damage over a shorter amount of time, or do you want to do, you know, more damage over a longer amount of time and draw a little bit extra power? So you'll notice that the turrets, obviously because you're hitting them constantly, they nerf them a little bit. If you were to go with something that's got, you know, like the gimbaled kind of where it bounces around a little bit and it tracks them some, but it's not like just point blank, or, you know, direct shooting, so you'll get extra damage. Of course, your rate of fire goes down. It's, instead of full auto, it's kind of like a semi-auto going on there. And then we've got the cannons. I mean, cannons are like, I mean, you can get a 1F cannon that's a turret, and it's pretty decent, and your power draw is going to go down. Distributor draw goes down. The damage per second, unfortunately, goes down too. And then you've got, this is an actual projectile in space, so you're talking shot speed that you got to watch, along with like your ammo. So you've got X amount that you can carry with you, which they're not showing that on there, but it is something that you have to take into account. It's actually shown on some of these. And then, I didn't go over the pricing on you on that. So you do have the cannon pricing is over $4 million to get the 2E turret. So that's crazy numbers there. And it gives you, it shoots a little bit further. It does a little more damage per second, but you're not doing near as much rate of fire there again. So you go ahead and pull that down. You can go into like beam lasers, and you can see the turn on that. It's like 2 million in the 2 series, 500,000 when you're looking at this other series. This damage type is 15 per second. You've got the 5.4 damage per second going on up there, which is actually a drop from what we've got. So I think a lot of it's just kind of, do you want to look cool doing it? You know, do you want the burst? Do you want the solid beam? Like, you know, do you want it Star Trek style or Star Wars style? You know, that kind of thing. So, and a lot of that will play into, because you can get into your some other issue or some other areas here, like let me go ahead and get out of that for a minute, and let's go into our livery, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. We've got this ASP Explorer. You can get you can get different paint jobs. A lot of these things you got to buy. Again, if you'd like to see us put one of these paint jobs on it, go ahead and let us know by going to the link below in the description and send us a tip. If you want to help us out with this, I mean, let us know. We can even put your name on the ship, or whatever you want us to write on the ship or name the ship. We'll do that for you too. Just be sure and let us know in the comments of your tip, and we'll get it out there. So a lot of cool colors here, some cool patterns they can come with. That one's quite interesting. It's very white for a spaceship, easily findable, I think. So anyway, just let us know what your favorite color is if you're interested in buying one of them. We've got the name here, so you just let us know and we can put your name in there. If you got a specific number you'd like us to name the ship, let us know and we get that put in there. And of course we can apply those nameplates like right over in here. So you let us know what you like. If you'd like to see us change stuff up a little bit. If you'd like to see one of these awesome spoilers on here, comment spoiler 1, 2, 3, or 4, and when you send us the tip. My personal favorite, I think, is probably spoiler 1. I mean, I kind of like 1. It's cool looking. It's low profile. Spoiler 3 is pretty slick too. So the wings on this ship aren't quite as cool as the wings on most of the other ships, but I mean, it's like really wings on a spaceship, spoilers on a spaceship. there's nothing in space, but it helps to make it look cool. It's like fancy wheels don't do anything for your truck, but you like to put them on it, So you got some bumpers on here. You can put on. Those are always interesting. This is kind of cool what I was going to show you. Yeah, you want to look cool shooting at people when you're in the middle of battle. This is how you do it. You get your weapon color. You can be yellow, red, green, pink, purple, cayenne, blue. So those are cool. And of course they do the same thing. You can turn your engine colors, different colors. The one I was interested in is I actually, you can put these things on here, but I've seen people online in some videos they've recorded, and they've actually got the color of their monitors or whatever, their heads up display. They've got those change colors. I haven't found those so far. All I've found dashboard customization wise is like put Mercury or Mars or something up there. We could even get a little W up there for Womack Designs, So, and the cool thing is you can put multiples of those across here, so that's interesting. So, anyway, if you got any thoughts on anything, shoot us a comment. I think we're gonna go ahead and close down the feed for tonight. It's been great talking with y'all. I appreciate everybody stopping out and coming by. Always, if you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to come back for more, hit the subscribe button. Give us the feedback and let us know how we're doing. It's been great hanging out with you guys. I'd love to see y'all come back. Maybe bring a friend, get a chat started, get to build a rapport with you guys. So, thanks for hanging out. Have a great evening.